This is Western Athletic Conference basketball on ESPN+. UT Arlington playing host to Abilene Christian at the College Park Center. Chris Mycoskie alongside Coach Reagan Pebley, and we haven't even hit the end of November, Coach, and we're already into conference play tonight. Any one of these games across the WAC could matter when it comes down to WAC Vegas seeding or even making it into the tournament.
Like you said, I can't believe that we're staring down December and already these coaches have to talk to their players about what it's going to take to win this conference. In this game specifically, both of these teams are going to have to take care of the boards. They're going to need their benches to play well, and they're really going to need to protect the paint.
Well, the third member of our crew will break down two of the top players in this contest. Here's Casey Buscher.
Thanks, Chris. It's an exciting night at the College Park Center as ACU and UTA kick off conference play. Both of these teams meeting for just the fifth time ever. ACU leading that series 3-1. Now, both of these teams are looking to find some momentum after starting off the year 3-3. Fuzzy's Taco Shop brings us today's pregame menu of players to watch. Visit Fuzzy's Taco Shop in downtown Arlington or their newest location in South Arlington on South Cooper Street. Now, looking at some of those players to watch this evening, we'll start off with UT Arlington. Efficiently on offense, it's Akeem Vinning from the outside. He is coming off of a big performance against Texas State where he shot 6 for 7 from the outside. Now moving over to Abilene Christian, Arion Simmons, a senior forward, is coming off of a season high of a 25-point performance against Missouri State in the championship game of the Paradise Jam. He shot 10 for 16 from the field and 4 for 4 from 3. Both of these seniors looking to bring their team their first conference win. We'll see who gets it done tonight, Chris.
Thank you, Casey. Almost time for tip at College Park Center. Mavericks in the home whites with blue letters and numbers. Abilene Christian in the visiting purple with white letters and numbers, black trim. Abilene Christian earns the opening tip, and we are underway in Arlington. Hunter Jack Madden passing it outside to Ali Deba. Trying to go inside to Cameron Steele, but knocked away, and immediately a foul within the first 15 seconds from the Mavericks.
We're going to see early that this Abilene Christian team, they're big, and they've got 3 players on the floor that at any time can expose a mismatch, and we see early they've been able to do that and draw an early foul.
ACU on the board first with Cameron Steele hitting. There's your UTA starting 5, Makai Williams. Career high 14 points for him in UTA's loss against Texas State last time out. ACU knocks it free. Zarion Simmons having some trouble getting it away from Dwayne Karoma.
Dwayne Karoma being a player that early KTs look to as a great defender, and retention of scouting report is really important. He knows that Simmons can stroke the 3 ball in transition and in the half court.
DeGrew unable to hit from just inside the 3-point line. Here's the starting 5 for ACU. Just like UTA, the same starting lineup that they put out in their most recent game, which was the final of the Paradise Jam against Missouri State, a game they lost to the Bears. DeGrew and Abilene Christian leads 4-0.
You and I had a chance to talk to Coach KT Turner about his team's offense, and they're really potent in transition. But in the half court, they've turned the ball over a little bit more than he would like to, not as efficient. And he said that's just a byproduct of the time of the season. They've got to learn timing.
Good feed into the paint to Viney, but he can't finish as he mishandles the ball and throws up an errant layup attempt. Nice job getting inside to Hunter Jack Madden for the deuce, and ACU up 6-0 with a chance for an and one.
Okay, what was more impressive about this play, the pass or the finish? I love a big guy that can pass like that, and that wasn't just a little dump pass. That was a 20-foot bounce pass in congestion.
It was pretty, and Madden, tough inside, gets the deuce. The junior guard from Sydney, Australia, misses the freebie.
We'll see both of these teams deploy presses, especially on dead ball situations, made free throws. They'll mix up their defenses. And again, just trying to take teams out of their rhythm and challenge, how much do you have in your package this early in the season?
The feed to Wilson, and just over 2 minutes elapsed in this ball game, and the Mavericks will look for their first points at the free throw line. KT Turner, his first season as head coach of UT Arlington. He was on the opposite side during ACU's biggest win in program history as the associate head coach of the Longhorns in the 2021 NCAA tournament.
Well, when we brought that up to him, I felt like we brought something a little traumatic up to him. He's like, did we have to go back there? And likewise, on the other side of the floor, Abilene Christian, they love that moment historically for them, but they really want to move on, and they're ready to create some new moments as well.
Yeah, Coach Brett Tanner saying they don't really talk about that very much anymore. It's about the here and now and looking to make additional memories at ACU. Inside, Wilson on defense, able to redirect the shot from Deba, no good.
So we talked about the changing defenses for both teams, and that possession right there off of the made free throw, UTA comes out in their half-court 1-3-1. We won't see them do it off of misses, but we'll see them when they can off of dead balls. They will get that set up.
Top of the key for Steele. Fed over to Deba, now back to the middle for Madden. He drives up and under.
Oh, that's like a bad word right there to coaches with all that congestion, letting somebody slither through the paint, finding the rim.
Brett Tanner, third year leading this Wildcats program. Previously on the ACU staff for 8 seasons under Joe Golding. Promoted when Golding moved over to UTEP. The Miners and Wildcats will face each other later this season as part of the CUSA WAC scheduling agreement. Not a game on the schedule he was thrilled to see, knowing the quality of basketball the Miners play, but it'll be great to have Golding back at Moody Coliseum.
And he said they're going to do everything they can just to honor him. Even though he wouldn't want that, they know the importance that he has to their program and want to make sure that they're bringing guys back and celebrating those teams.
A lot of former players will be in the house that day, and the newly refurbished Moody Coliseum in Abilene. Under 10 on the shot clock, 16:40 to go, first half in Arlington. Cameron Steele spots up, long arcing three, no good, brought down by Wilson.
Great defensive possession right there for the Mavericks, having to handle a lot of off-ball screening situations, a challenge to the communication and readiness of that defense.
Gordon stops and pops, swish.
I love his mid-range game that he has. It's definitely something that you don't see a lot happen in this era of three and rim basketball.
UTA trailing 8-3 to Abilene Christian as we approach the 16-minute mark in the opening half. From the free throw line, just below it, Ali Deba. His first two. And this is Brandon Talbot with a baseline triple.
Pace, run with pace, off makes and misses. That's something that KT's deplored with this offense that he's brought to Arlington, wanting to see this team create tempo off of their defense.
McLean into the ball game, gets it back outside to Steele. Hot hand.
Again, these bigs for Abilene Christian, they'll test your defense. Can you extend with your bigs to guard them at the three-point line? Are you off ball, ready to defend their cutting action, as well as take care of the paint and boards?
Gordon pitching it inside to Karoma, working hard down low. And the Mavericks pull within 5.
That kind of athletic ability is in his bag. That was not just a blind squirrel finding a net on that finish right there. We see that out of Karoma quite often.
Inside, knocked away by Karoma, but Abilene Christian retains possession. This is Deba working it back outside the three-point line. Feeding Madden, again driving to the hole, but this time misfiring off the side of the glass. Abilene Christian leading 13-8, 14 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the opening half. The halftime report brought to you by Total Care. Experience healthcare the Total Care way. We're on the campus of the University of Texas at Arlington, and the Mavericks leading Abilene Christian 41-34 at the half of the Western Athletic Conference opener for both teams. Chris Mycoskie, Reagan Pebley joining you courtside. And off the top of the broadcast, Coach, we talked about points in the paint, rebounding, and bench points being huge keys. UTA leads in all three categories, which has resulted in them having this halftime advantage.
And it took a minute for them to settle into that first half. But as you said, UTA right now, points in the paint leading 18-14. And that's big because Abilene Christian's coming in with Simmons, Deba, and Madden, who really compromise over 50% of their scoring game in and game out. And the bench is huge, 14-8. And I think what's huge about that is coming off of that Texas State loss, UTA's bench got beat 35-1.
Where'd you see maybe a little bit of a switch being flipped for the Mavericks? Abilene Christian had a significant lead. UTA kept creeping back, and then really over those last 8 minutes, it was all UTA.
It was, and I think it really got spurred on by the play of Akili Vining. He's done a great job, I think, with this team, really helping them dictate pace. Again, as I said, knowing when to go and when to slow.
Well, UTA has had a hard time dealing with one of ACU's players off the bench as JVC came on in a big way. He's only been on the floor for 9 minutes, but has made a big impact.
And again, he's going to get that ball into the paint and help collapse their defense. It's a little bit of bully ball. He's strong, he's physical, but he can shoot out there as well. And here we are with Vining doing a great job of attacking the rim himself. Guards make their money by making good decisions with the ball in the paint. And they also do it by hitting open threes.
Well, Vining is UTA's leading scorer with 9, 3 of 6 from the field, including 1 made from the three-point line on 3 attempts. You see the stats, points in the paint, again, a really big deal. UTA leading there, and steals also. UTA's defense has been superior this evening. ACU, that's usually their calling card, is forcing turnovers, making those points in transition, but the Mavericks have been better at it so far.
And I think the Mavericks are going to feel really good about the fact that they have 12 assists on 14 made field goals. They're one of the top teams in this conference right now, early in the season, on percentage of assisted made field goals. They're playing really well and clean basketball together.
UT Arlington and Abilene Christian opening up the Western Athletic Conference schedule at the College Park Center. Second half begins next.